Office of Minority Health, and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville. Has experienced hail damage, and there's never been a better time to buy a new or pre-owned vehicle. The hail is very spotty, some pretty light, others heavier, but there are huge discounts right now happening at Koppel. So please do not wait. Get thousands of additional discounts along with 0% APR. There will be a lot of people heading this way to purchase vehicles. So stop on in or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with approved credit.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatch Mac nachos and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top-quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at WindowWorldLincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Out here on Nebraska's calm, welcoming waters, fishing is a breeze. It's the sweet spot where solo anglers find quiet before the catch, families reel in memories, and first-timers discover what makes fishing so special. From the Panhandle to the Platte, the best fishing happens here, beneath Nebraska skies. Get started at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. A little bit later than I said the first time, but we're still doing 2 hours of NFL draft recap, and we might get to the very end of day one by the time this thing's over. And it's very interesting because there's a guy named Shedeur Sanders who has not been drafted yet. He might really be a day 2 guy. Earlier, we asked on that first hour if anybody had any comments about the NFL draft. Old Dad 34, I pray Sanders doesn't get drafted. Well, you might get your wish on night 1 at least. Jackson, we just got done with Beyond the Routine with Emma Spence, but there's a lot of craziness going on. The last 2 picks in a row, they're moving around. We'll get to the Giants. Don't worry about that. But where we left off, I believe, was the Falcons. Again, the first time. And Jalen Walker. And just to sum it up, so we can get caught up here, Cardinals take defensive lineman out of Mississippi, Walter Nolan. Bengals take Shamar Stewart, edge rusher. Let's pause there for a little bit because that's one where they're kind of in a tough spot. We talked about the offensive line. Is it really worth the bang for that buck?
I don't know if I said on air, but I said something about defensive line to the Bengals. I was like, hopefully they don't go defensive line and they go and get Shamar. Listen, Shamar Stewart's a dog. He is a dog.
But is that what you need?
No, that is not what they need at all. They still have Trey Hendrickson.
Mhm.
I thought like, okay, if they get rid of Trey Hendrickson, that would have made it make sense, but they still have him. I don't know how you don't go offensive line. And if I'm Joe Burrow, I'm worried for my health.
Yeah. 8-1. I'm like,
yeah, I can't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe they just didn't like the talent that was there, because it's not like it's stellar. It's not like you have a guy like Kelvin Banks or Armand Menbu on the board.
Mhm.
So I get it, but I don't know. If that's where you're at, then just trade back at that point. But I don't know.
You don't need an edge that
James
bad.
Pierce to the Falcons.
And he's still pretty raw at that point. Like, he's not even a good enough edge rusher. Like, he's a dog, but I'm not that confident in him to where if I'm the Bengals, I feel okay with that pick. So if I had to give I don't like giving grades out, but if I absolutely had to, Seahawks, they take Grebe Zabel, interior offensive lineman, North Dakota State. That's that one North Dakota State lineman I was talking about. Emeka Egbuka. Love this one for the Buccaneers.
I love this.
This one's probably an A for
Okay,
me.
I'm in Cowboys gear, but like at my other heart is with Tampa. You know, I mean, you know this. Some of the listeners may not know this, but I'm moving there in a few months. So Tampa Bay is right up my alley, and I love Emeka Egbuka. I love him. I love a good Ohio State wide receiver. It's hard to not like a good Ohio State wide receiver.
And there's always going to be one.
And
every year.
I think with Tampa, that's electric. You know, you got a Mike Evans-esque replacement. It's hard to replace a guy like him, but it's still a great wide receiver core.
Yeah,
because it goes. Phenomenal. You got Mike, you got Chris Godwin, you got Jalen McMillan, who's looking good. You got Emeka Egbuka, and don't forget about Trey Palmer.
Yeah, Trey Palmer's a lot. Where's Drake London at these days?
Drake London?
Yeah,
Atlanta.
Oh, no, I was thinking. Yeah, that's right. Okay, he is a Falcon. That's the red. I was mixing up.
Yeah,
there.
the red.
Okay, moving on here. The Broncos. They get Barron, corner out of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one's pretty safe there. They needed a quarter.
Yeah.
Steelers get Derek Harmon, defensive line out of Oregon. And then Hampton, Chargers, running back out of UNC. This one I'm a little bit curious.
Listen, it's a solid. They pick up Najee Harris in free agency, and they go get Amari and Hampton. I understand he's going to be a workhorse for them. You know, Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football. I think it's solid. I think everybody thought this was going to be Will Johnson, and Will Johnson is still on the board as of right now. So, you know, that's the type of guy that slips into the second round potentially. But Amari Hampton to the Chargers makes sense. It's definitely a surprise. They kept that pick for a while because they were fielding trade calls.
Yep.
So that took them a minute to decide that. So, yeah, it's a solid choice there, Amari Hampton. And he's the type of guy who is either going to go late round 1 or early round 2. So
yeah, I don't got too much to complain or too much to
gloat
about it. It's just a safe pick, I think.
Safe, yeah.
Green Bay Packers, Matthew Golden. They get the wide receiver out of Texas.
That's an electric pick for Green Bay. And what's the drought? I think they haven't drafted a wide receiver round 1 in ages.
I couldn't even tell you, but I can't remember a wide receiver.
I think they said it was like 02 or 07. Maybe Tex Line or somebody on stream could correct me or not. But I think they said because it was the president, the CEO that announced it. I think it was like 07 or 02. It's been a while since they've drafted a round wide receiver. Matthew Golden, the fastest wide receiver in the draft with a 40 time of 4.29. There's nothing to be mad about there. Just add to that wide receiving core, give Jordan Love another guy to throw to. So
yeah, and they got a little bit of injury problems too.
Yeah,
at that position, the wide receiver.
Christian Watson's battled it.
They've all a little bit injury.
It gives Jaden Reed a little bit of breathing room because I don't think he's comfortable enough to be a 1. He definitely is very, very talented. But Matthew Golden comes in, gives him a little bit of time to develop a little bit more. It's a great pick for Green Bay. I think all the Green Bay fans were happy that place erupted when they said Matthew Golden's name. So
I mean that's a great friend to follow.
Houston mean 2 picks later was a little bit sick, but we'll get to that pick eventually. But
yeah, we'll talk about the Vikings, and then we'll get to the real chaotic stuff. Vikings, they get an interior offensive lineman out of Ohio State. They are the ones to pick up Donovan Jackson.
Solid. Like I said earlier, offensive lineman, it's hard to be mad. You get to protect J.J. McCarthy. So hard to be mad. You know, J.J. McCarthy's coming off of an injury, major injury. I think it was his Achilles, right? I think.
Yeah.
So major injury. They want to protect him. They don't want him to get hurt again. I completely understand why. So, yeah, solid.
I'm cheesing right now because I'm just looking at those next one. All right, Jackson, what the hell happened during the on the receiving with Emma Spence?
You might have seen me running around out there like a crazy person.
I heard some commotion going on. I was like, this went down.
I just, hands on my head. New York trades up with Houston, back into the first round, gives up a second round and 2/3, one this year, one next year. And they draft Jackson Dart.
Yep.
I told you earlier, I said I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but I would be surprised if it happened. This is, I thought because Shedeur had, I think, multiple meetings with New York, and it made sense.
Are you starting to bite on that maybe some of the rumors about the interviews not going well with Shedeur are true? Or do you think
they're 1,000% true?
Mhm.
He's if there was he believes that there's an I in team. I think he really does. He just doesn't. I see the Husker fans going crazy, but there was one that I liked, and it said maybe if you stayed and played the second half against Nebraska, you'd be drafted already.
Yeah.
And that's something that I know Husker fans are saying that to just jab at Colorado, but I actually think it's something that has a level of truth. Because if you're an NFL scout and you're abandoning your team when you're down, Tom Brady wouldn't do that. Who some commentator, I'm not gonna say a whole lot about that, but was comparing Shedeur Sanders to Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady didn't get drafted in the first round, but to compare a quarterback who hasn't even been drafted yet, when there's two guys, one that went one that went, mid first round,
to the undisputed GOAT of GOATs,
to the greatest quarterback, greatest player of all time, is just, I don't understand. But yeah, Tom Brady wouldn't do something like that. Tom Brady would stay with his team if they were down by 60.
Well, and that's where this whole I wanted to be a little bit unsure. Is happens every time. People are lying. That's peak lying season with it. And I was like, sure, maybe some of the stuff's just not quite true, but that leadership, I mean, it's just those intangibles that maybe they caught up with a bit. And I do think, again, going back to the very beginning, that anticipation is really bad. And that's why he took so many sacks at Colorado.
Funny pick that was just made. We'll get to it, but really, really funny pick for the Ravens. But we'll get to that one.
Okay. But the Giants have Jackson Dart now. Even if you're not a big Shedeur Sanders, guys, do you make that move to go get Jackson Dart?
They give up a lot. They didn't give up as much as the Falcons did for this next pick. I think the Rams definitely won. Like I said, we'll get to that. But yeah, I think they gave up a good amount. They're high on Jackson Dart, but to be able to walk out of a draft with Abdul Carter and Jackson Dart, and if I'm a Giants fan, I'm like, what do we give up? You're like, okay, we gave up a second and 2/3. I think it's worth it. I personally think I'd be happy if I was a fan. You still get your edge that you desperately needed, and you still walk out of there with a quarterback who looks really solid and is arguably better than Shedeur Sanders.
But is it worth going for it now when you can just wait a year? Is the problem I have with them. That's where I'm like, I get it. It feels like there's a chance, but next year, I don't think the Giants are going to win a whole ton of ball games out there next year. So I think if you look at next year as your time to go get a quarterback. Even next year, if you have to end up in a situation where you got to trade up because it's getting competitive, there's going to be a lot of really good quarterbacks in that next class. Not a super big fan of this. Even though I was high on Jackson Dart, I think if you had to pick there, feel much better about it.
I think you could have waited. It didn't seem like anybody was going to draft Jackson or Shedeur in the first round. I think you could have waited. You definitely could have waited. I can understand that.
Well, wait and see, though. It's just, that's the beauty of the draft. Jackson Dart goes out there and he looks electric. We all shut up and look like idiots. So could be one of those things. Moving on. James Pierce Jr. Well, let's first talk about what happened with this pick.
So this was the Rams pick first, but in my opinion, I think the Rams got a pretty good deal for this pick. The Rams traded this number 26 pick and a 2025 third round pick. But the Rams got number 46 this year, second round pick, a 2026 first round pick.
I didn't see that.
And a 2025 seventh round pick.
That's
crazy. Because now you get to walk into next year's draft with 2 first round picks and a Falcons team that's not very good.
No. And they're gonna.
It's gonna be Penix's first year fully starting as quarterback, and that's hit or miss when it comes to any quarterback in the NFL. So that's an absolute steal by the Rams, if you're asking me. To walk out of that with 2 first round picks, and you still get to pick pretty early tomorrow. So,
and you feel good about next year. Walking into next year, you got some more arsenal.
Yeah, that's a really good trade for
and
the
you're
Rams.
A team that's not trying to go make the playoffs and make a run right now. You're building. Yeah. And now you're set up beautifully to build over these next 2 years.
We talked about James Pierce earlier. To give up that much for James Pierce is wild.
It makes me wonder why they fell in love with him so much.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. That's a very interesting one.
Not a fan of it. Malachi Starks, University of Georgia, goes to the Ravens.
To the Ravens? Okay. All right.
Safety out of there. I'll be honest. I couldn't tell you a whole lot about him. A solid safety. Where he sits on the draft. I don't hate it for the Baltimore Ravens at 27. Secondary, and they need to shore up a little bit.
Him and Kyle Hamilton's pretty baller.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really good. Jeez. Lions pick?
Because I think, maybe they could have gone an edge player, but then once Pierce is gone, that's maybe the only other direction you can go.
Yeah.
Because now we're getting to the point where the edge rushers are starting to get thin now, too. And maybe that's where they kind of landed.
They're flying off the board in the first round like free candy. So, yeah, I think Starks is solid. I think this is honestly late for Starks. I think Starks could have gone higher. A lot of people definitely thought he could have gone.
He was definitely in a few of these mock drafts.
They needed the secondary help, so
yeah. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a decent pick for them. Detroit Lions, they're an interesting team because they got a ton of talent.
Michigan through and through. It's got to be Will Johnson.
That's a good pick for him. I wouldn't.
It's got to be. I don't know. Like again, they haven't made this pick yet. It's in, but they haven't made it yet. I think Will Johnson's. It's Michigan through and through. So
I think I like them one as well. Who do the Lions all got for wide receiver right now? They're still
Amon-Ra. They got J-Mo.
You're chilling there.
You got your wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, and then you probably have enough depth behind him. So you're probably not going to waste a round 1.
Yeah, this is one of the more complete teams. I think you continue to build up that defense. And then that brings us to 29 Commanders. They're on the clock right now. And then we just got the Bills, the Chiefs, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. When you get to the bottom here, it's kind of just tough to figure out. There's a lot of ways you can go that are just safe. Commanders, if you had to pick an area where they need some help, where are you going?
Honestly, they wouldn't hurt with offensive line. I just don't know if there's anybody left that would yield a round 1 pick.
I think you got to find some ways to shore up that defense a little bit more because their offense was electric.
Yeah, that's fair. I think secondary.
I think go secondary. You look for
if they go there. You have Marshawn Lattimore he traded for, but again, aging, old veteran. So
because they just had one of the more prolific offenses last year, and you're retaining so much. So I think you just go
who's
in
left that safety.
And you try to build up that defense.
Safety would be good for them. I don't know who's left. It drops off pretty far. It's
got Evan Awori.
There is still some safeties. I don't know if they waste 29, but you got Kevin Winston out of Penn State, Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame, and then who honestly is rated lower than I would have thought, but Makuba from Texas is obviously solid, but they're not going to use round 1 pick on him. But I think a safety would be good for the Commanders.
Safety corner. I'm pretty good with either of those. And because those are still groups that are not very touched very much, you can get some really good value there. And then the Buffalo Bills. Defensive line.
Yeah, they desperately want an edge rusher. I know that.
And but they're at a point now where it's getting thin there.
Well, you still got Mike Green.
I don't know. I won't lie to you guys. I haven't watched a whole lot of Marshall football.
Neither have I.
Outside of NIU, I don't know a whole lot about him.
No, I don't know a whole lot about Mike Green either, but
if he is
scouts like him, which is enough for me.
A lot of the mock drafts, he was really, really high on some of these people's lists. So there's clearly a lot of teams that do like him out there. I couldn't tell you he's slipping simply because the competition is going to hurt him.
It's stacked.
But if you're the Bills, like I said, if you like what you're seeing, and especially if you can look at how effective he was in that Notre Dame game against some real good talent, if it still looks good there and it was consistent afterwards, you feel pretty good about it. Other than that, in a whole lot of areas, I think everything you're looking at is just all defense. Maybe, as always, you can go into your offensive line if you want to just build up the trenches for years to come. But I'm like 90% sure they're going to go on the defensive side of the ball there. And
I'll tell you who's still there. The Boston College edge rusher. I don't know how to say his name. Donovan Ezerique or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
He's still there. That guy's really good. That would be solid for the Bills. Again, it's one of those
I like that too. Yeah, there's a couple of edge rushers. You're at the point now where you're going to have to roll the dice on one of these guys. And they're both solid, but the Mike Green one, I'm going to go ahead and put. I think Mike Green finally comes off the board and goes to the Buffalo Bills. Kansas City Chiefs.
Who did Detroit just pick? Because I didn't see. Did they?
Oh, they did. They took the defensive lineman out of Ohio State. They took Williams. Tyleik Williams.
Yeah. Well, honestly, if Will Johnson slips to the Chiefs, I think they eat that up because that's what they do.
Well, now I think the Commanders might.
They have a track record. Remember last year, Xavier Worthy, he slipped, and everybody was like, "Okay, he's still here." They ate him up, and I think if it's the same thing, if he makes it past the Commanders, who need secondary help, and I think Dan Quinn's smart enough to draft him. So
And then we're left with Philadelphia Eagles.
Tyreek Williams is interesting for the Lions.
I like it. I mean, they're just building that defense to be an absolute juggernaut. Like the Lions, Campbell's whole identity of building up the trenches is becoming very real over there. And if you're in the NFC North, that's just going to be a bully of a team. And Aiden Hutchinson, when he's back healthy, now you're adding some more defensive talent, some defensive depth there. That team's just going to be a nightmare on the defensive side of the ball. And the Eagles, I don't know. The Eagles can really, I think, go anywhere they want with it. They got one of the most solid offensive lines out there. If they want to get some more young talent, maybe they can.
I think they could go
big extension.
It feels like they've gone defensive line so much, but I also think that they could probably go defensive line. Yeah. So, because they lost Brandon Graham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. They did lose.
He
Graham.
Retired. So I mean, there's a no. Well, they also lost. I forget his name, but they lost that other defensive lineman to Carolina in free agency. I think no.
I'm not exactly sure who you're talking about.
Patriots. Milton Williams.
Oh, okay.
I just remembered it. Milton Williams. So they do have a need for defensive line. They lose him. They lose Brandon Graham. So defensive line, it feels like they've done that 3 years in a row now. But that would make sense for Philly.
Who's all left on the defensive line?
Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, O'Shawn Mathis.
Oh yeah, Carter's still out there. O'Shawn Mathis. Yeah, he's in the draft.
Go get Ty Robinson. Go get Ty Robinson. That's what they should do. They won't, but that'd be hilarious.
I mean, hey, maybe the first Husker they got worked out really well.
Yeah, maybe Cam Jurgens will vouch for Ty Robinson. Maybe it'll be like draft him.
While we wait for this, we got about 5 minutes left here. Ty Robinson, give me a round, I should say.
Tomorrow. It's 2 to 3 tomorrow. If he doesn't go 2 to 3, whoever drafts him in the next day is going to get the steal of the draft.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think he'll probably be a round 3 guy.
That's
early
guess.
Round 3.
Yeah, definitely tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
I just safe pick tomorrow.
If he slips to 4, I'll be really surprised. The only cons they have on him is he's got a little bit of a negative wingspan compared to the other guys at that position. And that's about it.
He's just got a motor like no other guy in that draft.
And he's got one of those arcs you're looking for.
And he
every year it's just better and better and better.
For me, another big thing with him too is just loyalty.
Yeah, it's big for him.
Like I feel like there's no way that the scouts or these general managers have not seen that and asked him about loyalty, because he comes to Nebraska and it was never good.
No,
it really was never good for him.
He got here with Scott Frost.
He went through a coaching change, stayed. Played the first season with a new coach. Could have left. Stayed. Goes to a bowl game. Could probably sit out of the bowl game. Plays.
Makes a crucial play to win that bowl game.
I mean, he's the type of guy you want in your locker room as a rookie.
100%.
As a rookie. I mean, it's just, yeah, he's got to go tomorrow.
And he's got all the measurables there. Like, again, the only measurable against him is the hand size. But even he's one of those guys, especially, when you get to that point in the draft, like, you got some depth there. He can be more of a schematic. There's certain situations where you like him because of what he's got compared, and he can get a little bit of rest. So, I think couple of years from him, he's going to just be a schematic utility guy in the depth. And if you're getting that round 3, that's a pretty good take right there. So I'm with you. I think I'm going to go early round 3. Round 2 would surprise me, but there's a lot of teams. And again, I'd imagine he interviewed pretty well, and the loyalty thing always sells, as I think we're seeing with Shedeur Sanders a little bit. Again, that's speculation, but he's slipping for reasons.
I was wondering, they're like, Shedeur Sanders isn't here. Part of me thinks that somebody, whether it's his manager, I doubt it was his dad, was like, you should stay here because it looks horrible to the press if he's sitting in that room alone.
Yeah, you do not want to be in the green room sitting by yourself.
I feel like he might, because even when they've showed him, he doesn't look upset, which means that I feel like he's known this was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And
maybe
he's just
got
kind
the
of
Milrow
accepted that.
Like, as long as my name gets called, I don't really care. He's got the money, right?
I think he tweeted earlier today, I'm prepared for whatever today brings.
I did see that.
A little cryptic when you think about it. I have a feeling that he might have known, or somebody close to him recommended, just stay in Texas so you don't get the bad press of being alone in the draft room on draft night, because being alone in the green room sucks, and it's happened to quarterbacks
every year. You see, I shouldn't say every year, but there's a lot of years. You'll sit there and you'll see.
The year before that, it was Will Levis.
Yeah,
it was why is Will Levis sitting in the room, and obviously now we understand.
Yeah, he sat in the room. They were right. They were right to keep him in that room. It sucks for Will Levis who had to fly down there, but Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's a great move for Sanders not to be there.
No, I truly think, and yep, Commanders go offensive line. Josh Connolly, Oregon. Solid.
Again, when you're looking at these teams here, any team when you're just building the trenches, and really anywhere in the draft, it's hard to hate on an offensive line pick.
I'm on Instagram here on this page, and every top comment for the past probably 4 picks has just been Will Johnson.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm
telling you, Kansas City's gonna
They're going to
gobble up on that if he's still there, because that's just what they do. And everybody's going to be like, oh, Kansas City gets the steal of the draft. And they're going to blame Kansas City for all the other teams passing on a player.
If you're the Bills, you take him right now. You don't like Casey again.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills have learned their lesson before, trading a first-round pick that ended up becoming Patrick Mahomes. So they get Josh Allen, though, so I guess it's not that bad. But
yeah, I mean, it worked out in the long run for him. But
would you rather have Josh? Have Josh Allen or the 3 or 4 Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, ask yourself how painful all those Kansas City Chiefs versus Buffalo Bills games are, and ask yourself if you still made the right decision. Which is crazy because you got 2 of the best quarterbacks, but you had the opportunity for both of them. You got the second best quarterback.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just at a point. And Will Johnson, if it lands to the Chiefs, I'm going to be disgusted how the Chiefs get away with that kind of robbery.
I think Buffalo's going to go get that Boston College guy. If not Mike Green, but one of those 2 edge rushers.
I can see that as well. And then the Eagles, of course, we talked about them a little bit. But yeah, well, we got only 1 minute left here. We'll wait and see. They haven't quite put the pick in yet. They're still on the clock.
I think you could consider trading it too.
You could. I mean, you're also at all these teams. If they like a little bit of value, and there's a team that's just like starving for Will Johnson. Like if you're the Bills and there's a team starving for Will Johnson, you can pull a fast one, rip them away from the Chiefs, and get a little bit more value on your end.
Certainly, yeah, it certainly wouldn't hurt. I just Will Johnson being on the board is surprising.
It is.
It's very surprising.
I'll ask you this: is he the most surprising guy to slip so far? Like Shedeur Sanders. I think is the obvious.
But Shedeur Sanders, like, yes, it's surprising.
But it was also on the cards.
When you look at it, you have so many scouts who were like, this guy's not good.
But to be real,
this guy is not good.
Some of it was, the rumor mill, hoping he slides.
I think one of the favorite things that I've seen is, on X, how there's the readers add context.
Yeah.
Dion made the poor mistake of tweeting, this kid's going to go top 5. And now when you clicked on that tweet, it says readers add context. Shedeur Sanders did, in fact, not go top 5. It's pretty funny.
Sometimes those contexts are just mean.
I'm like, yeah,
clearly he didn't go top 5.
It's a little mean, but the expectation that he was going to go top 5, come on.
Well, yeah, he certainly wasn't going to go top 5. Like, I kind of had it in my gut that
it is a little wild Jackson Dart went before him. I'd be stupid if I didn't say it's a little wild that Jackson Dart went before him.
I'm not super surprised by it. Like,
no, I'm not.
I had to pick a quarterback that was going to jump Sanders. And again, this is where it's kind of an annoying conversation. To your point, surprising, but it's not surprising. Like, it's like you're playing Russian roulette, and it's like most of them don't have bullets, but one of them does. So you're surprised by it, but at the end of the day, you're not surprised because that was in the cards for it.
Yeah.
So Shedeur Sanders, Will Johnson, anybody else you're surprised to see slide so far?
God, who else was on the board, man? Let me see.
Everything else has been.
I just don't know who's on the board right now.
Pretty chalk. And maybe we can answer this one on the side.
Giad Campbell from Alabama, the linebacker. That's kind of surprising. I gotta know who this Bills pick is, man. It could very well be Will Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It could very well be Will Johnson.
Yeah, well, they clearly didn't trade it.
Their fans would be. I feel like they'd be indifferent because you don't know if the Chiefs are gonna take him because there hasn't been any connections there. I just think the Chiefs might take him because that's just what they do.
I think they'll be pretty happy
because they're at a point with that team where they're just like, okay, take best available.
Exactly.
He's definitely the best available.
That's when you get towards the bottom of the draft, like
I just know Bills fans are hungry for an edge rusher because they struggle to get the quarterback when it matters.
Yes.
Like you got
why am I blanking who they picked up from the Rams? One of the best, Darnold. Or no, not Darnold. Was it Sam Darnold on the Bills? No.
They got Von Miller.
Von Miller. They
got Von Miller.
Von Miller. And he had a crucial play in the regular season that kind of showed, and this was it might have been 2 years back, where the Bills actually won in the regular season. They got to host the playoffs, but you saw Miller was just that split second that you needed to stop Mahomes.
Yeah.
And then ever since that playoff run, obviously Miller's moved on. Now they're just in a tough position to where you still don't have that elite edge rusher that's going to stop Mahomes. Like look at every time that Mahomes has lost the Super Bowl. the Eagles. That defense just being unruly. The Buccaneers, it's the defense. You just don't give him a chance. He's just too damn good. So if that's the case, you take the best player. I'm not going to hate Will Johnson, but as the fans, I can understand why you're upset if they don't go with an edge rusher here. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw the break a little bit over on the first one. If you guys want to talk about your team or any picks, you can even throw in Shador Sanders again if you really want to. 402-464-5685. Me, Jackson, we'll keep talking NFL draft for 2 more segments all the way up until 11 o'clock. So if you're here for it, don't go anywhere. We got plenty more left coming on the other side.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
You know the saying, April showers bring May flowers. Well, it's true for heart health, too. Sprinkling in a few small changes can make a big impact on your heart health. Try adding a vegetable to your dinner or no salt seasoning. Looking for support in making these changes? Join a workshop to learn more about a healthy lifestyle. Search Chronic Disease Nebraska for more details. Paid for by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread Central Tire Pros because we tread differently. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown's Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Brown's carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. We're almost done with day one of the draft. The last team on the board, well, they weren't the last team until a recent trade, so we'll get there. We'll update it real quick. But we got to start with the Bills because Will Johnson, we were talking about the corner, the best corner on the table, arguably the best player left on the table. And if the Bills want a position to patch up and it's the corner, Will Johnson seems like the layup. They go the opposite direction. They get the man out of Kentucky, Maxwell Hairston. It's just thoughts on that.
I'm not going to sit here and say Maxwell Hairston's bad, but I'm not an NFL scout, so maybe I'm just not qualified.
Well, here's Pete Prisco on it. And say what you will about Prisco on his, mock-ups, but he says, I love this pick as much as any. He is my top corner, not named Travis Hunter. The Bills need a corner, blah, blah, blah. But he thinks that is the best corner after Hunter.
Maybe just people aren't that high on Will Johnson as a lot of the public perception.
Well, the turf toe and the speed are his biggest cons. Like, can he keep? Because like the NFL speed is just an unreal level.
Yeah, but
if you don't have it, you're cooked immediately.
Yeah, but like turf toe being a reason.
I think it's the speed more than turf toe.
Yeah, I was like Devontae Adams had issues with turf toe.
Yeah.
Is that really like a? Yeah, I guess the speed. You got to keep up with the NFL guys. NFL guys are really fast. So
that's the biggest jump for corners. Is like you can be an incredible corner in college football and look like garbage at the next level.
Yeah.
Because now you're going against CeeDee Lamb, you're going up against Higgins, and it just gets unreal. So, and if you don't have the speed, it doesn't matter how good you are at all the other areas. And this is me speculating. I think I don't know if I entirely agree with Prisco here, but I think I'd probably still go with Johnson. But maybe that's just the thing that's killing him.
It's just like for the Bills, if you're going to go corner, I just don't get it. Especially, I don't think your fans are going to be happy about that. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're a Bills fan, chime in. But I thought the Bills were super high on an edge rusher. I thought that that's what they wanted. I thought that that's what their fans were begging them for. And they go corner, and they go, in my opinion, what isn't the best corner available. It's just a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little confusing. But, this is one of those situations where it's like, okay, the guy falls in the draft, he gets picked up, and he's not that good. Because we were talking about Will Levis. That's exactly what happened to Will Levis. He fell. Everybody's like, why did he fall out of the first round? Nobody knows why. He gets drafted, goes to the Titans. Everybody's like, this dude's great. And now the Titans were drafted Cam Ward number 1 overall because he was
not great.
Pretty bad.
That's one of my favorite Bears games.
I still, Patrick, I was telling you, Patrick Mahomes just tweeted.
Yeah.
So very cryptic, smiling tweet. And that just leads me to believe that Will Johnson's going there. Again, could be wrong because I feel like I've been wrong for the past 5 picks.
Yeah. And if you're driving, you're confused. The Eagles and Chiefs did a trade
swap. So
and the Chiefs got the 162 pick as well.
Yeah, like it was just like a quick little like, hey, we'll swap picks, but we'll throw this in there.
Mm-hmm. So they clearly, had the conversation. Who are you drafting?
Yeah.
This is who we want. Okay, this seems like a fair shake right here.
Yeah,
AFC, NFC as well. You really don't care.
You don't do that trade with the person that you just beat / lost to in the Super Bowl unless you know who they're gonna get.
Exactly.
And the Chiefs don't have a need for linebackers, so they were probably perfectly fine with that. And the Eagles really didn't have a need for Will Johnson, but I know how, I forget his name, Howie Roseman. I know how he likes to do things. He'll draft whatever is going to make people talk, even if it's, I don't want to say even if it's bad, because Will Johnson would be a bad pick, but they don't need that.
It's a safe one for the Eagles, right? If they do like Will Johnson a lot right there, then like you're really not losing anything at all. But this trade right here, and the Chiefs are happy as well. They get a little bit of extra value. This might be one of the most gentleman shakes we've seen in the draft.
The rumor mill is saying Jihad Campbell out of Alabama, but we will see right here as Commissioner walks up.
Okay. So we're missing something on Johnson completely. He is getting the Will Levis treatment, is what it feels like. Obviously not to the same degree, but he is slipping. Him and Shador.
Yeah, there goes Campbell.
Yep, Jihad Campbell out of Alabama, linebacker, going to the Eagles. Eagles continue to shore up what is.
We will find out shortly if Will Johnson is out of the first round, but we know Shador Sanders is 1,000% out of the first round, unless you want to, draft him sitting behind Patrick Mahomes. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of maybe Andy Reid can fix him, and
no,
it's
absolutely not.
He doesn't seem like a big KC guy.
I don't know what else they would go. Who's all available?
I'm curious who the Chiefs like.
Kansas City can draft whatever they want. I don't know. Go.
They clearly have their eyes on someone, right? Because they don't make that trade.
No, that's what I'm saying. They know who they're gonna. I have a very shame. Patrick Mahomes would not tweet unless it was something that people were going to talk about.
Exactly.
Will Johnson, people are going to talk about because everyone's going to be like, how do we want the Chiefs? Will Johnson.
I'm going to zag. I don't even think Will Johnson goes to the Chiefs. I think he falls out of the first round. There's something we're missing completely on.
No, it's just, I don't know. This is going to be an interesting pick by the Chiefs. And it's something to talk about because if Jihad Campbell goes on to win defensive, rookie of the year, which I don't know. I don't know. Who knows?
I'll tell you what, though. If Johnson does make it to the second round, okay, now his value is unreal.
I will say that defense is still scary, though, because they still have Zach Bond.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have Jihad Campbell. It's a really good linebacker. It's a scary Eagles defense coming off of a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I have a good feeling they'll be back.
Ridiculous. Oh, man.
They're just reloading. It's, tell you what, the NFC has just got some of the most physical teams you're going to find.
Oh, yeah.
And the Eagles, and we're talking about who'd the Lions pick? Let me go backwards. They got,
Tyreek Williams.
I like that
dog.
pick from them as well. Shoring up that defensive line. And then, Jihad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama, over to the Eagles. And we're just going to wait and see what happens for the Kansas City Chiefs. Picks in already. They didn't need a ton of time to think about it. Like we said, I'll get that one out pretty quickly. Now, everything we've seen in the first draft, give me your biggest winner. And I know these things kind of suck with these grades because we all stamp a grade on it. I'll give the Scott Van Pelt answer. He thinks it might be the dumbest thing in the world to put these grades because nobody really knows. But you get a feeling, and what I like to grade is just people's moves. And if they are making trades, is it worth it?
Hate if you must, but I think it actually weirdly might be the Browns.
The Browns? That's the best team?
It's either them or the Rams walking out of there with more picks. I don't know. I kind of like the Browns because they're obviously not high on any quarterback, and then maybe they're going to pick later in the draft. We don't know that yet. And don't be twisted. Shador Sanders might be a Brown. He very well might be a Brown because the Browns now own the second pick tomorrow.
Yeah,
the second pick, and I don't think the Titans are going to go. I think the 2 owns it. The first pick tomorrow, I would imagine.
Yeah. 2
So they're not going to go quarterback. So if they want Shador, they can get him with a second pick tomorrow.
Yeah, Cleveland Browns are the number 1 pick tomorrow.
Number 1.
They're the first pick.
Really?
Yeah, they too. Cleveland Browns next.
Okay.
Just came up here on my tracker. So Cleveland Browns have a chance to take Shador.
They could take him. So I don't know. If you could walk out of there with who is believed to be the top interior defensive lineman in the class to pair next to Myles Garrett, and you still get Shador Sanders, I think that's pretty good. And you walk out with some picks, and it's solid. And you get a pick next year, too. You're going to have 2 first-round picks next year. I could not tell you the last time the Browns had 2 first-round picks.
No, the Browns is a good one. I think the Browns, you can make a good argument that they won this draft. Looking at some other teams, not super high on the Giants maneuvers. The Jackson Dart thing really killed it for me. Like, I get it, but just wait.
Interesting.
Do what the Browns are doing. And now the Browns have the opportunity to not wait if they choose not to. But I feel like that was kind of the Browns plan all along. It was like, yes, we'll shore up now, but we're looking for value next year. And the Giants jump the gun. They want it now. It's Jacksonville, too. I'm just worried they gave up too much.
Gosh.
Travis Hunter, I get it. I get the allure there. But at the same time, you gave up a lot just to jump up. And then you gave up your 5th pick as well. Duval's going to have his hands full.
Yeah. I like the idea. I don't know if you heard any of the talk earlier today, but there's 3 different draft cards for Travis Hunter. One that said wide receiver, one that said DB, and one that said both.
Oh, really?
And the team had to decide which one they wanted them to say.
I had no idea.
Depending on what they wanted for him, which was pretty interesting.
I'd imagine most went offense.
Yeah, I'd imagine. But
he might get some like
he also
was
pretty clear. Like, I'm not playing for you if you don't let me play both sides of the ball. And if Jacksonville wanted him that bad, they're gonna let him do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly,
I don't hate it.
him playing both sides of the ball in Jacksonville makes a whole lot of sense. Him next to Brian Thomas, and then him really being the true guy in that secondary for at least. Yeah,
we'll see if he's like an incredible talent and he is legitimately a guy who's dominant on both sides of the ball, or even just good on one and dominant in the other.
Oh, this makes so much sense for the Chiefs.
Give me the intel. I know you're a little bit
Josh, this is actually from Rappaport. Josh Simmons, offensive tackle, Ohio State.
Okay.
That's a good
sense. One. Josh Simmons is the offensive.
He wasn't even thinking about that.
Well, I kind of forgot him. He's the guy. The injury, we were talking earlier, I think it was San Diego State. I looked it up. So there's not a ton of tape on him, and the injury hurt him. But when he's healthy, he looks solid.
Yeah, this is Rappaport shared that he was picked by the Chiefs, and he said one of the draft's biggest curiosities is Josh Simmons, a sure first-round talent coming off of a patellar tendon rupture in October. While opinions may vary, teams were impressed with him at the combine rechecks, and he squatted 225 pounds in April.
Allowed 1 sack through 2 seasons.
He's already doing solid work. It's all positive, no setbacks. So the indication is he'll be cleared before training camp, and he is still considered a first rounder to most scouts.
So that's
obviously they take him.
Good pick. I like that a lot for the Chiefs. So they obviously didn't take Will Johnson. Will Johnson will be another day 2 guy. And
he's got to be going tomorrow. I don't know how
he'll probably go tomorrow.
Him and Shedeur.
Him and Shedeur. Now day 2 is going to be exciting.
Day 2 is going to be interesting
because now you're waiting for Shedeur, and there is a good chance that the Browns go ahead and take Shedeur, unless Browns are in a situation because you go from Deshaun Watson, very controversial quarterback. You're going to bring in arguably the most controversial quarterback in this draft.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean that's a lot of personality. There's a lot of personality in one room.
The Cleveland Browns. That's them for you. They like to get the quarterbacks with a little bit of personality.
It's also even funny because this is literally just Johnny Manziel 2.0, and it's the Browns.
Yeah. Well, you could, and that's the Browns are just. I used to be a big root for the Browns because they're the underdog, and I just ever since the Baker Mayfield thing, it's like it's insanity.
Yeah, that
you have a quarterback. You've been dying for a quarterback forever, and somebody waves a mystery box in front of you, and you said, "Hey, I know you guys really want a quarterback. There might be a good quarterback in this mystery box, but you have to trade your good quarterback for the mystery box that make it in." Well, what are you guys doing?
Once they traded for Deshaun Watson, I was like, "Well, I lost whatever respect I had for that organization." Once they traded, literally, Nick Chubb's career, pretty much.
Yep.
And all those picks, and they almost lost Myles Garrett for Deshaun Watson, who's played 16 games since being traded there.
And the 6 team he played was terrible.
Yep.
Like you can't find.
And he's being paid more than literally, I don't even know, half the NFL. I don't. It's crazy.
His number is ridiculous. I can't remember what the exact total is, but
it's a lot of money. It's a lot of guaranteed money too.
So it's just me. Like if the Browns take Shedeur Sanders, they really got to hope it works out with him. Otherwise, it's just going to be another nightmare of everyone trying to dunk on your quarterback. You're going to hear the Baker thing all over again.
It's one of those things. If they don't go Shedeur, it's back to the drawing board. Who's going to take him?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take him?
We have no idea at that point.
Because if he doesn't get taken tomorrow, then I'm like, okay, where are the Raiders? Where are the Saints? Where are all of these teams who kind of need a quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting.
Especially if you get like another random quarterback. Like I don't think we'll see it, but if you might, there's a chance. Will Howard pops up. Kyle McCord.
Oh my
There's people that are pretty high on Kyle McCord and like.
Well, my thing is Dallas was like, we want to take a quarterback that's not in the first round. If he's there in the second round,
where's Dallas at tomorrow? Do you know?
Probably
because they were
They were 12 in the first round, and they're probably high enough up there to where if the Browns don't take him, and they're definitely in play. And it's not out of the realm. It's not out of the realm for them.
Well, you got to throw the break here. I'll tell you what, though, Jackson, it's been a great draft.
It's been really fun.
And we'll keep it rolling here. We'll do one more final wrap up of the 2025 NFL draft. A lot of fireworks in this one, so don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We've got feuding.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts, beer, and barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time, and you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740. Fleet Feet Lincoln is excited for the upcoming spring season and the warmer temps, and they want you to get outside and be active. Fleet Feet's Fit ID process takes a free 3D image of your feet to help runners and walkers alike find comfortable tennis shoes and inserts that ease pain associated with plantar fasciitis, bunions, and more. Get back on your feet this spring with a trip to Fleet Feet, open 7 days a week at 77th and Pioneers.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Runners, are you ready? The 48th Annual Lincoln Marathon takes over the streets on Sunday, May 4th. Whether you're chasing a personal best, conquering your first race, or just in it for the bragging rights, this race is for you. Sign up for the full or half marathon today at lincolnmarathon.org, but don't wait, spots are filling fast. Join thousands of runners or line up along the course to cheer them on and make race day unforgettable. The Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon, your finish line is waiting. Register now at lincolnmarathon.org.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, final segment here on a special edition of Ticket Weeknights NFL Draft. Got 2 solid hours here with a little bit of hour break in between. We're all wrapped up with day number 1. Day 2 starts up with Cleveland Browns. They'll have the opportunity to take Shedeur Sanders. They'll have an opportunity to take Will Johnson. I have to look at the order tomorrow because the biggest conversation is obviously going to be Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
And if the Browns don't take him, now you're really starting to scratch your head trying to figure out how much further. Because if you're not, we talked about it before, it's just crazy, especially when you look at the jersey retirement. And if the more he slips, the more that's, well, you like him or hate him, he's just going to get dunked on social media nonstop until he starts putting up some stats on Sunday if he can. But we'll leave him alone. Stop picking on Colorado so much. Looking at this draft, give me, we talked about the teams with arguably the best. Give me a team with, well, no, did we talk about the best draft order or the worst?
We talked about best.
Okay, give me the worst ones.
Oh, man, the worst.
With a grain of salt, right? Like, you might look like an idiot come the NFL next.
It's so hard to say. Yeah, it's so hard to say that because like some of these guys
gut feeling, speculation.
I don't know. I don't like the Bills picking Maxwell Harrison with Will Johnson on the board. It's bold.
I'm gonna side with them just because I'm gonna trust that all these scouts see something that my simpleton brain is just not seeing.
Who else is there? I gotta go through the order now.
I did talk about the Giants. I'm just not a fan of it. I get it, but no, not this year.
I mean, Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren's interesting.
Yeah,
it's a little interesting.
We kind of talked about like the Bengals though, taking an edge rusher. I understand where you're at enough, but like even if Simmons feels better there.
Never mind. I totally forgot about this. The Falcons trading 2 first-round picks, right?
Yeah, they gave him a ton. I forgot.
For James Pierce. For James Pierce. That's insane.
They're gonna regret that one.
I mean, he might be good, but he's got talent. But that's
2 first-round
picks.
That's too much.
They didn't trade two first-round picks for Jackson Dart. The only guy that got traded for 2 first-round picks in this draft were Travis Hunter and James Pierce. That's crazy. Travis Hunter, absolutely.
Travis Hunter makes sense. Pierce, like the guy, not that much.
That's crazy. I don't know. Bengals going Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, that's the one I throw out there. I hate that. You get
He's
an edge rusher.
Good. But it's not the difference between him and James Pierce is like I feel very confident in Shamar Stewart. And being good, it's just not what they need.
Yeah, you're going
literally at all.
I know we just talked about the Chiefs picked them up, but like Simmons, he was still available. Whenever you feel about the injuries,
I kind of forgot.
Started all 13. I did too because it slipped that much. Started all 13 games at San Diego State. Was really healthy there, and then yes, I get it. He has the big injury over there at Ohio State, but he allowed 1 sack through 2 seasons in the Big Ten. Like that's says something. And I get it. You're Ohio State. You got the better offensive line most of the time. Giving up 1 sack through 2 seasons. Is a pretty surefire thing. So that's one where if I'm the Bengals, is there a little bit of risk there with the injury concern? Absolutely. But as an edge rusher, really where do you want to go, knowing how your fan base, and you should never base things how your fan base is going to react. That's the classic. I don't know if you're a big NBA guy, but when Kristaps Porzingis got drafted to the Knicks fans lost their mind. They couldn't even say his name. They called him Porzingis.
I just remember that one video. I don't think I could say that on air, but I think you might know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, iconic video.
Yeah.
who the blank is this guy? And he tries to say his name.
I was like, I won't say that. But
I'm
that
sure,
one video.
I'm sure he looks back and he's like, oh, he's actually a pretty good player.
He's pretty good. I mean, he goes to the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm. So just very interesting.
Very interesting tweet here from a popular ex Husker page, Husk guys. 8 of the first round draft picks were ranked 3-star or lower coming out of high school, including the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, and the number 18 pick, Gray Zabril, who was unranked, and Ashton Genty, the number 6 overall pick, who was a 2-star.
You know what this says?
It's interesting to think about.
It is, because you know what that says? Are you sure about that NIL money just because of the stars? Like, you better be really good because, I mean, this draft right here, maybe it's a outlier, but you are seeing this era of NIL that sometimes stars lead to laziness. You don't get the guys that was working as hard. Maybe this is a trend. Maybe it's just a 1-year thing. That's a crazy stat. How many was it? 8 Only 8?
Eight of the first round draft picks were ranked to like 3 stars or lower.
3 stars or lower.
And one of them was unranked. One of them was 2-star.
Jeez, my lord. All right, there you have it. Jackson, closing thoughts.
Crazy first night in the NFL draft. Very excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about, I won't talk about day 2. Early break tomorrow, 6 a.m. They'll talk a lot of NFL draft, and they'll speculate what day 2 is going to look like as well. Appreciate you guys listening. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food,